Hello, good people. Thank you so much for joining me in this mastery series. I am Yohnee Moode and I can't wait to get into it. So here we go. This video is called 5 Ways to Know That You Are a Worship Leader. Number 1, it's a desire of your heart. Psalm 37:4 says that if we delight ourselves in the Lord, He will give us the desires of our heart. What that means is He'll put into our heart those things that He wants us to desire. He will give us what it is He wants us to do. He will give us clues and a longing and a yearning for His will and purpose in our lives. So number 1, how do you know you're a worship leader? Is if you have that desire in your heart. But the key here is that you have to be delighting yourself in Him. That is how you know the difference between a selfish desire that you may have, or the need to do your own thing or to accomplish your own will and purpose, and something that He's given to you. You can have faith that if you are delighting yourself in Him, that the desire is from Him. And the word delight here is the Greek word that means to revel in, to find joy and desire in who He is, the essence of who He is, and in His laws. So you know that if you're delighting yourself in Him, you're seeking Him, His will for your life, then whatever He puts in your heart is a true desire that's from Him. Number 2, it's been confirmed by others that you are a worship leader. This requires some interaction, with in music and in leading worship and worshiping with the team and singing in church, that type of thing. You have to be in a situation where people have been able to see you in action, or it could be that somebody could have a word of knowledge where you're concerned to be able to confirm that in you. But it's usually confirmed by mature and trusted people in God. It's usually not going to come from Lil Willie on the corner. Bless his heart. We love Lil Willie, but if Lil Willie is not really, into God or into, seeking the Lord right now, I don't know if you should take Lil Willie's word. You have to take Lil Willie's word with a grain of salt. No shade on Lil Willie. If anybody knows an actual Lil Willie. The point is that usually the confirmation comes from a trusted and mature person in Christ. 2 Corinthians 13:1 talks about let a matter be settled and witnessed by 2 or 3. And so number 2 in my list is that you're a worship leader if it's been confirmed. Number 3, you're a worship leader if your desire is to make His name great and not your own. Yes, your desire is to make His name great and not your own. Your desire is to set an atmosphere, set up a meeting place between God and His people, and that brings you joy. You're not in it for fame. You're not in it for a record deal or for fortune. Now, it doesn't mean that those things, if you're faithful and your heart is pure, it doesn't mean that those things cannot come out of it. But what it means is that it cannot be your initial desire and drive to be a worship leader so that you can be famous or to get a record deal or something like that. It has to be about Him and about His people. Number 4, you're a worship leader when you worship in private. And you live a life of worship out of the spotlight, off that stage, off that platform, that you are naturally a person who worships the Lord even when no one's looking, that you live a life of obedience to the Lord. Doesn't mean you're perfect. Doesn't mean you don't make mistakes. But your heart's desire is to serve Him. And your heart's desire is to worship Him even when no one is looking. And lastly, number 5, you know you're a worship leader when your favorite sound is the sound of God's people meeting with Him and talking to Him. You derive the greatest, most fulfilling satisfaction in a worship service where the congregation is engaged, where the congregation is loving on Him and He's responding. That sound, when that sound fulfills you and satisfies you, you know you're a worship leader. All right, so that's it for today. I hope that helped somebody. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. Any comments below, please feel free to share them. Thank you so much for joining me. Subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on notifications so I can let you know what's coming. And until next time, have a great day.